Another dark log from the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me, coming at you from Roseman, California. 16th of December, it's 2:07 in the morning on a Tuesday. Why am I up? Okay. I still had to check on the dog every so often just to see if she's alright. But that's why I do these dark logs. Stay the hell away from the damn bugs when I get rained on these damn cockroaches. Speaking of a cockroach that you love to get rid of, but you just can't until midterms or even afterwards. Miller is at it again. He's brought up the same national security policy memo number 7 out there, telling us that don't screw around with Donald Trump and don't insult him with anything, otherwise we come after you, which means he's stifling the First Amendment rights. So if you happen to disagree with the old orange gas bag with the problem with his hand and his mouth and his mind, his lieutenants are having a conniption fit. They want punishment. I don't know where the hell these guys are have problematics with their damn childhood, that's for damn sure. Miller's one of them. Every time I keep coming across that damn articles concerning about him and him having a little chuckle fest on a bus while he was in high school, talking to his friends about how he'd want to get rid of people left and right. He was really a racist bastard back then, and he still is, full blown. His wife is the same way. Trump doesn't care. His mind's blown. But if he's that angry and racist, he's just letting things go. He's not in it for humanity. I know. I keep hearing it from every other independent out there. And they still don't like him. The Republicans are slowly getting their voice, but they know that their time's coming up. For the ones who are going to be timing out, what is it, every 2 years have to keep running? And the House House of Representatives, and yet the Senate's every 6 years. So yeah, we're having massive runnings again. And some of those are coming up with the terminology. I like it 4 years. I'll have to go back over that again regarding how much term limits are for the House versus the Senate. Senate, I don't know, 6 years. Well, we got Miller saying he's going to be hunting the fifth column out there. He's got to be hunting out these dirty, rotten traitors to the crown, to the regime. Doesn't this son of a bitch ever get it? And he doesn't give a shit about it getting it, but doesn't the son of a bitch ever get it that First Amendment right is supposed to guarantee us freedom to say what's on our mind, to address our grievances to the government without any repercussions. No, not according to these assholes. Once we get in office, and that's it. So the courts have to go through it every single time what we have and what we don't have for rights. Currently, the birthright citizenship is still being played out in the Supreme Court, but I can't see any hearings about it listed on their website. So what's going on with it? I'm still trying to find out where that information is. If it's an emergency procedure, they're not mentioning it at all for the public to see this shit. And as for what happened with this supposed terrorist group that got nailed in the Mojave Desert, yeah, that's in my territory, boys and girls. That's in my territory. SoCal. Okay, so 4 people got nailed. They're going to be doing some massive bombings on New Year's on Southern California. You know, there are a lot of targets out here in Southern California we can go crazy over. They really had to have a burr up their ass for this one. But to say it's a liberal group, give me a break. It's not liberal. So I don't know where all these guys are coming from, but The FBI said they were doing some investigations on this damn thing. FBI also screwed up on the damn Brown University shooter. They're still looking for the actual. The guy they thought they had to release because it wasn't him. They couldn't prove it. Akash Patel, the leader, the asshole himself for the FBI, is getting himself more and more in trouble because of his own dumbass actions at this point. He had a spark off on media. Said, I'm glad we got this guy. I'm glad this guy was guy. And then it's the wrong guy. So I was like, you dumb motherfucker. You know what the weird thing is about the fictional FBI shows versus the actual FBI? The media, the fictional media they're putting out all the damn time from Paramount Studios and CBS are showing these guys more professional than the FBI we have currently running. And Hollywood has got a a reality basis to it than what we have right now. Especially when you're dealing with a director who's using up resources left or right for his own personal use. He was never a professional agent of any sort. But Trump hired his ass, and now we had to deal with him now. But there's rumors, not specified, not specific, and not clarified, that Patel is going to be on the chopping block. Theoretically, metaphorically speaking, his career is in the guillotine. Bondi may be next, maybe Noeem's next, we hope. But we'll get somebody worse. Meanwhile, the Senate is trying to, either the House or the Senate, is trying to shove almost 100 more candidates for different positions to be filled by people who are not qualified for a damn thing. But these are old Trumplicant ass kissers. They kissed Trump's ass, and he granted them boonies. Granted them boons. So yeah, we're in for the regime. It's getting settled in. And the independents are still screaming and yelling their heads off at this point. Yeah, I did read the article concerning about the New Republic and what Steve Miller was saying. And he's crawling up like a storm here. Saying, we will get those people who are going against us. How dare they go against capitalism? How dare they go democracy? Liberal sucks. Left-wing sucks. Your diversity, Your difference, You have to be white. He's not saying it directly. He's saying it indirectly, in between the lines. If you're a hate group, make sure you're white. If you're Antifa, oh, this was funny. What was it, last week or this week? Actually, last week. There was a hearing. One of our FBI directors or someone in there was trying to get a handle on this Antifa crap. So, the Trump government is going after Antifa like an organization. The problem is, it's not organized. Never was. It's an ideology, but it's also a wake-up call to us. Antifa is not organized, but Trump kept saying it's organized. It's out there. He said a lot of shit about that January 6th riots that never came true. And yeah, he turns around when he becomes president and exonerates them. And some of them are coming back to bite people in the ass and getting their ass busted and put back through the court systems again because they're that dumb. Or worse, to get hired as ICE agents. We having fun yet? Does it sound like I'm against Trump? I never voted for the son of a bitch in the first place. I wasn't voting for him in the second place. Why the hell did he want to get in there in the first place? He had his ego running high. He couldn't wait to get onto the next grift. And he grifted. Hard. And now he's in the position of having everybody else kiss his ass. He still wants to rule the world, literally. Portions of it, anyway. Went after a few countries in Europe. Denigrated the United Nations. Got us out of several areas of the United Nations and telling NATO to go fuck themselves. If Putin and the other idiots are out there trying to gather more territory, Trump's saying, no, I don't want to. I'm just going over to Venezuela and piss people off over there. I'm going to kill people in the boats and calling them mad names and everything else. And, well, I think I want to get out Maduro. 18,000 military personnel hanging out in various vehicles, ready to raise holy hell on Venezuela and putting them into a fear lock. And you voters did this shit to yourselves. You said you wanted a change. You got to 2016 for a change. And then everything else went hell in a handbasket. You guys didn't learn a goddamn thing. And then November 2024, you did the same damn shit, only a little bit tighter race. And we still got the same crap. So now we got a power mad regime change. And on the independents and also on the YouTube videos I keep saying left and right, the maggots are going, no, this is not what we wanted. Yeah, it was, you dumb motherfuckers. You drank the fucking Kool-Aid and you got poisoned by the cyanide. Welcome to Jim Jones land. So, anything else we're going to be crashing and burning on, guys? Anything? I mean, are we going to be having now the ice agents coming through Christmas? They're coming to a place near you. I understand there's been homeless shelters somewhere back east that had been invaded. I think in New York somewhere. Maybe I heard that wrong or watched that video wrong in that one. Where there had to be somewhere back east somewhere. In a homeless shelter where you had caregivers watching over these guys. They're keeping the ICE agents out. Because the ICE agents want to go in there and arrest people and harangue them. Homeless people have got no other place to go except at a safety in a shelter. But it's no longer safe and it's no longer shelter. Because you got ICE people trying to get in. Who says we don't live in the 21st century Nazi Germany here? Or just Nazi America now? Yeah, I said it. Deal with it. And the only thing we're doing with the salutes is wheels, bells, and everything else. We're yelling and screaming at these guys left and right. We're doing a shouting match at them. We got more of the masses telling the ICE agents who are cowardly, bundled up with a lot of military firepower. Now here's the thing, they can keep pointing the damn barrels, but do these assholes really want to go there? Yeah, they do the pepper spray all the time, and they do the pepper balls. But do they really want to go there? I mean, do they really, really want to shoot people left and right? Did they really want this to happen? They were looking for the money. Because ICE had gotten a whole windfall. Billions of dollars out of our own fucking pockets to give us the fear and terror. So those are going up for ICE to terrorize their own neighbors. I hope they can live with themselves. But here's the thing. We got people who are trying to follow different teachings that deal with anti-violence a great deal. They're trying to cope. They're trying to show them that there should be a better way. The ICE agents want the confrontation that bad so they can put it on camera and then prove to Trump that they did their diligence. They did their job. And what did we end up with? Martial law. But in essence, right now, we have martial law. We just don't have the military going up and down the place. In California, we had a judge overruling Trump one more time. You can't stick the goddamn National Guard down LA's throats, or even California for that matter. Not without valid reason. And Trump's been saying, they're burning up, they want us there. No, we don't. The only time we ever needed the National Guard is when we actually had national emergencies over here. Actually, we had national disasters happening. Fires, floods, quakes happen. We need all the manpower we can get. But, did we want them for law enforcement? The Posse Comitatus Act from 1800s prevents this from happening. But did we have any national riots happening? Where was the riots? Where was the burning buildings that Trump said that we had? We didn't have any. We didn't have any. Where was the explosions of the buildings at this point? And just because we got some knobheads out in the Mojave Desert doesn't mean it's given to give them green light to come through here again with the military. I mean, yeah, we do have military bases here in California. We have several of them out here in Southern California. But do you think anybody in our city streets want this shit to happen? No fucking way. That's why overwhelmingly we did the Prop 50 in California. It passed. It's still going through the court systems right now to see if it's legitimate or not, and if it's legal. But we've already got the rulings necessary saying, yes, it is legal. Now we need this, because Trump's still manipulating red states like crazy. He wants to get a more of a majority for the midterms. He's failing miserably, because he's a miserable person. I could go off on a tirade about his character, but he had to have character for me to go on a tirade for. But he's got that much of a brain-dead idiot kind of mentality. He's got issues happening. His lieutenants are running all the shots, probably including the one in the Office of Bureau of Management. Heritage Foundation leader, snuggled into the executive branch. He must be having a field day over this shit. But anyway, that's my ranting and ravings for our current regime that I did not vote in, but I failed. I failed to keep these assholes out. I failed in not delivering the message strong enough to anybody to keep this son of a bitch and his regime out. I hold myself accountable, transparent, and responsible for this shit. Does the rest of the voters? Nope, they don't give a shit. So, you voted the shit in. Congratulations. You got it. You wanted this change? You really wanted to go Jim Jones or David Koresh in this one? Think about it. That being said,